So hey there, welcome to the Cryptid Skeptic. So right now, late September 2025, just going to lay this out pretty simply. Exercising your First Amendment rights right now of free speech, freedom to assemble, is likely to make you an enemy of the state. So in a time right now, probably more than ever, when silence is complicity, speaking out and speaking up, you run the risk of getting fired from your job, possibly even here in the future, being criminally indicted, by the federal government. So right now it's September 27th, so we can use the example of Jim Comey right now, who, former director of the FBI, was indicted by the pinch hitter, the I don't know, pinch hitter is probably even too gracious of a term for the interim U.S. attorney right now that President Trump handpicked, one of his former defense attorneys, who indicted Jim Comey on 2 counts, not the 3 that they tried to bring, 2 counts, obstruction of Congress and false statements to Congress. So this is already after a Republican U.S. attorney there in Virginia refused to bring indictments against Jim Comey because he didn't think the evidence was there to sustain a conviction. So, against all the rule of law right now in the United States of America doesn't exist. A complicit Supreme Court and a MAGA majority in Congress has allowed authoritarianism to take hold right now in the United States of America. And saying that when Donald Trump has decreed that the left and the so-called ANTIFA movement to be a domestic terrorist organization, right now what I'm saying makes me an enemy of the state. MAGA and, MAGA hates when you call them Nazis. MAGA hates it when you call them fascists. My answer for that is simple. Then stop doing Nazi shit right now. In the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, when Vice President Vance was on Charlie Kirk's podcast, when he was calling on Americans to inform on other Americans, where are we? What are we doing? Are we in 1933 Germany? Are we seeing, our American Reichstag fire so that the Nazis can really entrench themselves here in the United States? Make no mistake about this. They want to take us back more than a century culturally and legally right now. My grandfathers fought in World War II against fascism and against imperialism. So every day here in the United States where we take one more step down the fascist path and the authoritarian rabbit hole, we dishonor their memories just a little bit more. And as an Air Force veteran, I can't abide this right now. This is someone whose politics are moderate, a centrist, maybe even a radical centrist, whose personal heroes include Theodore Roosevelt and John Glenn. Here I am, having to speak out and speak up. And a lot of people won't be able to. A lot of people won't be able to, and that's sad. Because, democracy dies in darkness, but I would say democracy dies in silence right now, too. So you don't have to speak loud, but you do have to speak up. For those that think that your vote doesn't matter, who stayed away last election day, well, elections have consequences right now. And we are seeing the consequence of electing a fascist and allowing a fascist movement to thrive in the United States right now.